So I was at Anglia Farmers, which is based in Norwich, just outside Norwich in Norfolk. I was there for a year, and over the year I worked in 4 of the different departments, which was the livestock department, general supplies, member services and arable inputs. And on a daily basis I was dealing with both the member, the farmer and the supplier, trying to get them the best price possible. Favourite part was probably speaking to the members on a daily basis, getting them the product for the best price and then being happy with it. And being part of the team in the office was really enjoyable. Everyone was really friendly and it was a great atmosphere. It's really nice to win the award. It's quite a nice achievement really. I'm really pleased. I've been applying to a couple of graduate programmes, but I'd like to pursue a career within the agricultural sector.
I did my placement in a racing yard for Anderfield. It was based in North Yorkshire. I was responsible for general duties like riding out in yard work and working alongside the vets and medical records and that sort of thing. I learnt a lot from, there were 70 horses on the yard, so I saw all sorts of problems and learnt a lot from being around them. To be honest, it didn't even cross my mind that I would do, so I was really pleased. It's nice to sort of get a bit of recognition for working hard. I've always wanted to go to vet school, but it's kind of, I think you realise after doing a 4-year degree how much you actually have to put into it, so the thought of going on to do another one is sort of something to think quite seriously about rather than just jumping into it. So I'm not sure.
I went to Shrewsbury Town Council and I worked with the countryside unit. So that involved us working on over 20 different sites around Shrewsbury and looking after all the different green spaces, which could be anything from cutting the grass, managing the hedgerows, or things a bit more complicated like setting up community orchards, which was one of our big projects that we did there. I loved gaining all the new skills because I learned a lot over placement. I went out and got my chainsaw certificate and my tractor license and health and safety, all that's very important. But I also was able to go out and do work with great crested newts, which has actually helped me with my dissertation work now. So yeah, I love doing that and I love doing the survey work. I wasn't aware that the award existed, so I was very pleased to find out that I got such an award. I'll need to start looking for a job. Unfortunately, Shrewsbury wasn't able to offer me anything, but hopefully in the future I can get something along those similar lines, working as a countryside ranger or possibly a wildlife officer.
I went to a JCB on placement, and I was part of a group of 18 undergraduates, which I was lucky to be part of. I went to 3 different placement positions when I was there. The first one I went to was in a research sort of polymers composites role, where I took up some research tack to try and work out new materials that they can use for new future machines, and also got the opportunity to manage their rapid prototyping facility, which is something new to them, new to me, so it worked well around. It was really good, really enjoyed it. And then I went to a marketing position, backer loader marketing, which was a combination of analysis of data. I also did a big involvement in the big global dealer conference that they've just held. And then my final position I went to JCB Lampower, which was definitely much more up my street. I went to do some test and development on the JCB Fast Track, and I took a bit of a role in the new suspension system for their new tractor that they've just released. As I say, right up my street. Really one of the things I really enjoyed whilst I was there, and I'd like to go back in the future if they offer me anything. I was so surprised to win the award. A simple email was to let me know, but no, it was a privilege to receive, and something I wasn't even aware of in the first place, but it was really nice to have.
My placement was for the cooperative farms, and I was based at 3 of their businesses, first being Coldham in Cambridgeshire, and the other 2 being in Scotland, one in Angus, Carnoustie Packhouse, and then another farm in Blairgowrie in Perthshire. It was a fresh produce based placement. At the beginning, arable and field vegetables. The second portion was involved in a potato packhouse, and then the final part was to do with soft fruit and carrots in Perthshire. My favourite part of the placement was developing my leadership skills, learning about the fresh produce supply chain and being involved in a very large business. I'm delighted to win the award, and I didn't expect it at all. My graduate job was going to be becoming the assistant farm manager for the Earl of Plymouth Estates in Ludlow and Shropshire. It's going to be a continuation of what I learnt on placement, and a chance for me to have an input into another large farming business.
I carried out a 14-month placement on Atholl Estates in Perthshire. I was mainly working from the estate office for the general manager and the rural manager, and occasionally the head trustee. So I did a range of estate management activities. Towards the end of my placement, it was mainly focused on the hydro schemes that were being constructed on the estate, and getting involved with the submitting planning applications for those. It was just such a large and diverse estate. There was so much to get involved with across all the different departments, from being able to go on the hill with the keepers for a few weeks during the stocking season, helping on the farm, and sort of getting involved with development projects such as the hydro. It's quite a surprise to win the award. It's quite nice to win it, and sort of recognises the work I did over the last year. So I think carry on with some sort of land management career. And not entirely sure where yet. Perhaps maybe go back to Scotland or back home to Northern Ireland. We'll just have to see.